cheese on bread. We're back with another banger. You guys know, man. Sure, you thought I wasn't gonna come this week? Nah, bruv. We cannot miss out because we're dedicated to the thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, we're in for a treat today. We've got a guest, and this guest is gonna help us with content. You know why? Because she's a content creator. I'm telling you guys, you don't know, we're always banging on about content, how it needs to be done, how we need to be doing things. And there's some questions and things that you lot have been asking, and I thought, who is best to bring on apart from a content creator, someone that does this for a living? And make sure you stay to the end because there's some tips right at the end. I think there's at least 6 to 7 tips, guys, that you can do now to up your game. So do you know what? Let's not waste any time. Roll the VT. Let's get into it, bruvs. Yes, Kelly Mack, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. How are you doing today, man?
Well, it's always a pleasure to see you, Mandla. So I'm doing even better today because I'm chatting to you. But thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm very excited to be a part of this and love working with you, as you know. So yeah.
I had to get you on, because there's so much things that I want to share with the community. But first of all, I like to always start about how we met. Do you know what? I need to big up your husband, because I swear, if it wasn't for DJ, seriously, if it wasn't for DJ Lucas, I remember one time, I think he saw on my story, I was doing an event, and I was like, I sometimes have someone that can come and film with me, and I had no one, and I was like, I need someone, this is terrible, blah, 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 blah. And he just messages and says, yeah, message my wife. I said, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, my wife's a content creator. I'm like, that sounds quite okay. Then it gives me a page, I'm going through, I'm like, oh my days, this is what I need. So now we're working together on a couple of projects, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to let people know how we start.
No, we've got to keep some secrets, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's weird because I listened to your voice without even knowing who you were for many months, because Luke used to go to bed and literally I'll just hear your voice booming out of this phone and I'll be like, who is this person? Because I didn't know who he was at that point.
Yeah, of course.
Literally I could feel, and I'll be like, oh, he's got good energy, he's got good vibes. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm following this DJ, he's brilliant, blah, blah, blah. And then just one day we woke up and went, he needs a content creator. You're going to go and help him. And I was like, what? Help who? What are you talking about? And then I followed you and I was like, oh, this is exactly the kind of person I want to work with. So, and then the rest is history. Then
rest is history. Match made in heaven. So I had to get you on because one of the things, Kelly, I always talk to my listeners about is how important content is. And like me, even when people see what I'm doing, the main crux of it is because of the amount of content I put out. So I thought it would be great to sort of bring you on, pick your brains a little bit and see what you can help some of us with. So let's start with first thing first. So obviously we know how we met, but I want the people to know, like, when it comes to content creation, obviously content creation is not something you can just go to uni and study and just pick up and things of that nature. So where did the inspiration start? Where did the light start? Where did the whole thing start of you becoming a content creator?
It's really weird because when I think of even the word content creator, I think that didn't exist a couple of years ago, but I've always been a content creator since I was younger. So my granddad was always into taking photos. He even had one of the, what do they call it, the black room or whatever room it is, where they literally develop their own photos. So I remember being young and I remember going into this room and he'd literally be putting this, the film into this water, and I'd be like,
I've only seen it on films. I've only seen it on movies.
Yeah. Well, my granddad's like 93 now and an absolute legend. So I think that's where I was just like, wow, this is amazing that this picture is like just formed from whatever he's done. How old
did you say you was?
I would probably, by this point, I'd probably say I'm like 7, 8.
Wow, okay.
And then my granddad then my dad kind of took the baton of, he's gonna be the family photographer. So I'm not joking. We had a whole loft full of just albums, and everything. Every now and again, he'd get them all out. And when you were this age, so I grew up with this really embedded. You've got to have a memory. You've got to have something to look back on, and I love that, and I've continued to do that. Then when I was 11, my dad bought me a digital camera come out for the first time. I feel so old even saying that.
Do you remember what camera? Guys, we need to talk about it.
Wow.
Do you remember what camera it is? Did it come from Argos? Come on, let's hear it. Was it?
I think I can't even remember what it was, but it was an Argos one, 100%. But I got this camera and I thought, oh my god, wow, this is amazing. And bearing in mind, probably before then, I was like printing photos, paying loads of money. Like all my pocket money went on printing photos. How ridiculous is that? Just because I had this obsession with just creating a memory at that young age. Then I naturally became the family photographer. Everywhere we went, like, Kelly's here, that's fine, she'll take all the pictures. And I've got a massive family. I've got like 54 cousins. I've got yeah, we've got a huge family. So imagine how much practice I got at weddings, birthday parties. Like I literally was clicking away. So much so that my dad was like, I don't need to take photos anymore. You've just kind of taken, you can do it now. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then obviously I had my own kids and stuff, and I'm very, I want to make sure that I've got loads of memory with them. And then the iPhone came out, and I'd had an SLR camera for ages. I was that girl that was wandering around with this big old camera off, and it was just not practical. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, we can actually video on this phone and take photos. So you can imagine how many videos, photos. So I started just taking like mini clips, putting them all together. Like when the original first CapCut came out, I just started playing around with it a bit. And then obviously it's evolved, and the iPhones have got better and bigger and more memory, and the cameras have got amazing. I then soon realised, why am I carrying this camera about when literally the lens on this camera is 100 times better? It's sharper. So I kind of then thought, from this moment, my iPhone is my best friend, and everywhere I go, everyone would be like, "Oh, Kelly, it's going to be a picture." Like, they just all relied on me to do that, which I love actually. So then how I got into content creation, which I didn't really get into content creation. I have a passion for photos and capturing videos. I've got a title, but it's not something I ever was like woke up and went, I want to be a content creator. It kind of was the natural thing that I just fell into. And weirdly, a lot of my friends were like, have you seen this thing called a content creator? And I'm like, no. And they're like, this is you. And then when I looked at it, I was like, this is me. I can do this. This is amazing. There's an actual job that does this. Oh my God, this is made for me. That day I found that out, I was literally buzzing. And then I went on a girly trip like I do every year to Ibiza, because I've grown up listening to music. I've never really been a TV girl. I'm like banging out the tunes in my room. My kids do the same now. Like we just love music. Music makes me really happy, which is why I love when I'm working with you, for that reason, because you know the vibes, you know the music, and then I can bring out the energy of that, which I love.
Yeah.
So I went on a trip to Ibiza. O Beach had a Soul Town kind of takeover, and I took loads of little clips, pulled a little reel together. I was well proud of this little reel, and I thought, you know what? I had a private account at this point. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to open a public account, because all my friends were like, no one can see all the stuff you're doing. You're doing really good stuff.
Yeah, and you're probably making great things, but it's not.
Yeah,
and
no one saw it apart from my 400 followers that I have. So I was like, oh, okay. So about a year ago, I decided to open a public account. Started chucking a few videos on, like when we went to Dubai, a couple of holiday stuff. And then people started slowly following. I thought, oh, maybe this is going to be a thing. I've never been one. You're probably the same. I don't look for the followers. I want people to follow me because they love what I do. So numbers 100%. Is not really a thing that I tend to focus too much on. It's more the engagement I get from it. If people love it, it makes me want to do it.
Makes you want to do it more. 100%. I agree.
Or help people, because a lot of people are like, how do you take this picture like this? How do I do that? And I'm like, oh, help. That's my next question I get asked a lot, but. So I created this reel. I tagged O Beach and Soul Town into it, and then about a few weeks later, one of the DJs that works in Soul Town, Jimmy London, a lot of people do know him. Mm-hmm. He messaged me and said, "Would you come and do a bit of content for some brunches that he's just started pulling together in a restaurant in Sidcup?" Okay. And that was the moment I was like, this is it. This is the moment I'm going to get paid to do something that I actually love. And at that point, I'd always done, what is saying is content, but I've never ever got paid for it before. I just loved doing it. Mm-hmm. So, and I remember feeling really nervous walking into this restaurant with all these full-on brunch going on. They got a saxophone, bongo guy, DJ. There was Jimmy's a brilliant DJ too. And I thought, I'm going to get to do this. I'm going to get to do this as a job. This is absolutely crazy. But the thing is, you never know what you're walking into. So in these kind of jobs, I don't know the people. I don't know what. But I love that. Probably like you do when you turn up to a job. Like you never know who you're going to meet. You always leave that room knowing somebody that you never knew before you walked in there.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love that part of it. But I think you have to be a certain type of person to to be able to do that.
I think you've probably got to be a people's person first and foremost, because there are some
100%.
people that are like, they don't like people, they like to
Yeah.
stay away. I don't really want, you got those people. There's a few
Yeah.
people that's like, I hate people, I hate being out in public, I just don't like.
No.
So
We
if
get
that's
the energy.
you,
Yeah.
same. I get the energy from
Yeah.
people. Like if there's
Yeah.
people there, I'm like, like, where's my tribe? And it won't take you long until those people gravitate to you, and
Yeah.
then people start to pick you, and you're like, yeah, I love your energy. I'm like, I know, I'm gonna love yours. Let's just keep going. And then,
and that's how
like
we,
you said,
when
you
we
meet
first
friends.
met. Literally,
Oh,
like the
100%.
first 10 minutes was like, right, I love this energy. This is good. And then I think I've said this to you before as well. I for some reason, I know how to round people up. I know how to get them to do whatever I want them to do for a photo. And for some reason, whenever I'm like, right, go do this, they just do it. So I've just realised I have this. Don't know what it is. People just listen when I tell them to do, and that then creates good content because
because then you get what you want, innit?
Like exactly. So you've seen many a time when I've done a big group photo. Trying to get a group photo together is really hard to
Difficult.
do.
100%.
But I managed to do that, and then it's amazing content when you're obviously panning across that. So I did that for a while, and then as you probably have, people recommend you, and I just got more recommended. And last year, in October, I celebrated my first anniversary, and it's just gone from strength to strength because the more I do it, the more I love it, the more I learn it, the more skills I learn from it, the more people I meet. And we've had this discussion before, but a lot of content creators that don't have, I suppose, they chase the money sometimes more than the passion of what they want to do. So
and the views,
and
the numbers, and the followers.
And I get it. Like we've talked about this before. A lot of content creators will go straight into the weddings because they know that's where the money is, but that's necessarily where. You've seen them before, content creators, where they go to these events and not be the energy that you wanted from it because they're doing it for the sake it's a wedding rather than I really love what I'm doing here and I want to be here. Not always, but that's and I've said this to you. I wanted to steer away a little bit from that and be like, right, where is the kind of gap in the market, which is always the party part of it because there's no one there in the evening. So then I thought, well, okay, well, everyone's over here. I'm going to do a bit of a business move and move over here and see what people are doing. And that's then how I got involved in all the kind of DJ stuff because I love music. I'm always out and about anyway. So I was like, I'm just where I'd naturally be at an event. I might as well take content and then it's created a bit of so it's become a bigger and bigger and bigger. And now I tend to be, which literally is, I'm like the DJ's content personal creator now. Like I have so many DJs that follow me or ask me, and I love that. Absolutely love that because I get to go and listen to you guys doing your thing, and I'm there just capturing it all. So that's how it's grown.
That's how you came to be Kelly Mac, content creator. Do you know what's funny? I remember when you said it was a year ago when you went to, but you never went to IB for a year ago, did you? That's where you had a video and then you started a public page, right? And that was on the 11th of October 2023.
Yeah.
See, I've done my research, Kelly.
You have. I'm impressed.
I've done my I know when you first posted.
Yeah. That was an important part. That was where it all started. So that post was more important than I probably ever realised at that point. So I just did what I normally did and posted it and thought, see what happens. Yeah.
See what happens. And then now you've got your brand, you've got you're doing your thing, and even to get to there, it took me some time. Like and there's so much stuff on your page. And what I love is that when you was talking about your story, you can see it. So if anyone goes to your Instagram, like listening to what you just said, it's all there. It's all like, that's how we know you're talking facts. There's no
you can all see it. Yeah, literally that. And you've noticed as well, like you as well, not an artist, but as we learn our skill, you'll see how different that reel was, and you can see me growing as you go through the page. So you'll see how I used to have. I would have like the title page would be different, or I'd use a different kind of colouring or editing. I'm just finding my way, and I feel like I've now found my groove, and I know what people know when they look at my photo or my reel. They know it's yours. I don't even have to say it's me. They're like, Kelly's made that, and I'm like, and that's what I want to get.
You know what? It's right. Even that post that we collaborated on, I could see I threw your wall off. I can see, with the text that I used. I was like, when I was looking at your wall today, I said, oh. Kind of threw Kelly's wall off there with my little.
And you know what? I'm gonna have to be okay with this, but not okay because I am a perfectionist. Like everything I do has to be photos have to be central. It's just everything to me, and even when he speaks to Luke, he's like, everything I look at is a picture, and I will always walk around and go, I see a picture, and he's like, oh God, you just. But that is how I'm very creative, and that's how my mind works. Like when I see like Botley, incredible venue. Like remember when we caught that moment with you, all the strobes going off. No one even thought to go outside, but in my mind, I've already imagined what it's like. I know,
But
I need
you've
to get out
imagined that
here.
from the inside.
Yeah,
That's the level. You haven't gone
yeah.
outside and be like, oh, that
No.
would be cool. You're inside and you're like, hold on, we've got this
Yeah.
big glass. It's
Yeah.
dark outside, so this is going to be illuminated. Why not let me go to the end of the field, face it. Kelly, the amount of DJs.
I remember your face when I was like, 'cause you were like, I've got my own little guy here checking out content. And I went, yeah, cool. Have you seen this? And you were like, oh my God. And I was like, that's the level we're dealing with.
That's the level. Yeah, when we've got the contract, like you said, that eye, when you showed me that, I would never, I probably would have been at Botley 6-7 times and still would have thought, do you know what I mean? How can I maximize off the glass house, off the glass?
But you're not there to think like that. So I wouldn't
you're right.
You're there to make sure
correct.
that room and everyone's dancing. I'm there to think, like, what's the best angle? What's the greatest? And you'll notice as well when I do stuff, I don't just stay in one place. I'm moving it inside, outside, that corner, that, because it's boring otherwise. You don't want the same angle. I'm zooming in at you, I'm zooming out. You're like, it's different things because you want to make it a visual, fun experience for whoever's watching. Not just, and you've seen many people do a video where they just go meow straight across it, and you're like, that. What is that?
You don't even see it. Like you're like, whoa, slow down, bro. Like,
and that's one of my top tips. Like literally, if you slow your hand down to, I know it's painful and it doesn't look right, but that's the best content. Doing this, which everyone seems to want to do, because they want to capture stuff quick, it doesn't come out great. As you've seen many videos that don't, when people do that. But yeah, definitely one of my top tips. Slow down.
If you want to speed it up in the editing.
Yeah, exactly. You've got tools to do that.
Yeah. Or you can times it down too or whatever. But I think what's good about yours is that you get to see what's happening. If I can't see what's happening, I can't enjoy it. It might be all fast and look a bit snazzy and a cool song playing, but I'm like, I don't really know. I just watch the last 30 seconds.
I do use another top tip. I do slow down at least 2 or 3 like sections of my reels. You'll see. You'll always see it if you're at a birthday party and the mum and daughter have had a kiss or whatever. It's like, oh, I love him. I always slow that down to get the effect of like that's a nice moment. So slowing it down, it's a good thing to do too, but it's at the right time. Like I wouldn't be slowing down too much of your stuff because it wouldn't look right. So your energy vibe, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, do you know what I wanted to say as well? Is that looking at your page, Kelly, like you said before, events like heavy, it's like you're not excluding any type of event, whether it's a birthday, wedding, whether it's an outdoor event for Halloween whether it's a brunch, whether it's a festival, a couple festivals that you've done, like a Shwaya, you're in Ibiza, you're in Santorini, all these different places and different things that you're capturing. What is it that draws you so much into the events and the DJs and stuff like that? Because being a content creator, you've got the freedom space to jump into any industry and film anything, whether it be houses, decor, anything, but you specifically chose, clearly by looking at your page, like events, DJs, festivals, what is it that drew you so much to that industry?
The same thing that probably draws you to DJ, it's the people. I love being able to capture moments for people and something for them to then keep, and events are all about that. They're celebrations. On top of that, like I said, I love music, especially when it's the kind of music you're playing, or if it's anything like house, garage, then I'm there. And brunches, majority of them are going to be house, garage kind of music. So that's what naturally draws me. Anything that kind of gives me good energy, which is house music a lot of the time, I'm like right there. Like where do I need to be? How do I get there? What do I need to do? So that's kind of, and also like recommendations. Like the only reason I do the high level event stuff, working with Amber Events, who are incredible. These guys know how to throw a party. Like the marquees, you've seen them; they are epic level,
absolutely sick.
And honestly, I remember the first time that she asked me to come and do a job for her. I walked in; it was someone's 60th. Fire eaters going off, saxophone. It's literally the biggest disco I've ever seen in this massive house in Chislehurst, and I thought. And I'm looking at my phone going, how am I here? And just from my phone, honestly, it blows my mind still that I'm like, just from this, I'm here. This is amazing. And it's also, having someone trust you because they don't know you. A lot of them don't even understand what content creation is, but they know it's a thing they need. Like you said, content is king. Like it's more important than anything right now.
100%.
People need it. There's a lot of competition out there. Everyone's looking for the best content. So they know they need it, but they don't know what they want. So you have to kind of guide them to give them a bit of, this is what I think you should do. So then I found out, I'm actually in control of what I do when I do go there. So there's no one brief. There's no real brief or anything.
Yeah, you just turn up.
Yeah, and that's true by practice.
It's true. You can't when you come from 8 until 8:30, I would like you to be on that side filming the people come. You can't do it like that. You need to let me come.
Here's your playlist.
Yeah, play this at this time. Yeah, at 8:51 I want to hear We Are Family. But only play it for 1 minute 32 seconds because after that you need to mix it, and that mix can't be no more than 15 seconds. So you need to be quick.
Your vibe.
And
you can't be creative. Exactly that.
I could never.
No, and that's with me. Like they literally just go. At the amount of times I go to an event and they go, "Kelly, do your thing," and I'm like, "Brilliant." It's very rare that I have. There's one occasion I've told you before where I ended up just standing there and there's queues of people just wanting a photo. That's what I'm not there for that. I'm there to capture the moments that people wouldn't notice, like the little dance for the nan and granddad in the corner, or the dad and the daughter having a little twirl, because all that kind of stuff. Like they're the bits that I love capturing.
Okay, love that. So goes on to our next question, which is obviously being a content creator, some people are going to go to your page and be like, that's easy and I can do that and da-da-da-da-da. I'm sure people think, oh yeah, I can do that. Get my sister to do that. She can do that. What do you think that separates you from just someone with a phone? What is it that separates a content creator from just, getting your Auntie Doris to come and hold an iPhone and sort it out? What is it?
Well, first of all, I have to laugh that you've even said this, because I remember going to a first of the few events and there were festivals, and I remember standing. It's weird. You're in the VIP really bit, aren't you? Because you're with that DJ. You're with their little homies, their crew,
posse.
They're all the TikTok crew that are like, yeah, this is good.
Entourage.
And I remember going to one event and he probably was a 19-year-old standing next to me, and I kept asking if he could move out of the way because I was there paid to obviously be there. And he kept giving me just cheeky going, well, I'm a TikTok creator, so who are you? And I was like, I'm the content creator, so if you could just give me a bit of space. And he looked at me on my phone, he went, yeah, whatever, and then wandered off. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But you know what? I love it when they do that, because I love proving them wrong. So I captured all the content of this. It was like a new brand that had been created, and another recommendation that I got. I pulled it all together, and it wasn't the greatest venue. It was quite hard to get an angle that didn't make it look. I'll give you an example. It was a DJ deck on literally scaffolding poles. It was really not what I expected when I turned up.
I love that you're it's really, really. I also thought you were going to say that it was 100% crap, but you was like, not what I was expecting.
Not what I was expecting. I just turned up, and already my mind's going, right, what angle? What can I do? What can I do? So they had 2 plants either side of the deck, and I thought, right, you know what I've got to do? I've just got to fill the frame, and literally you just have the DJ and these plants and then them. And I tell you what, I created all this content, I sent it to them. They had 80,000 views on their page. They literally got all this registrations for their events went sky from just being able to create. And they wrote me this amazing review to say basically, I've changed the marketing of their brand and stuff. But on the side of that, the guy that was running it, who's only really young too, messaged me, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think you were going to create anything decent from your phone. I can't believe that you've done that using your phone. And I'm like, it's knowing how to use your phone. The amount of people that come up to me, they haven't got their phone set on 4K. They're not cleaning their lens. I mean, basic stuff.
Don't start me off with cleaning the lens. Oh my God.
If anyone ever asks me to take a picture, which will happen all the time, so our content creator's here, she can take the picture on my phone, and I get that all the time. First thing I do is literally clean the lens. Guys, look, and I go to them, Luke laughs. We go to festivals and concerts, and I can see everyone with their phones up, and I can see how shit that screen looks, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm tapping people. I literally do this.
Give me that phone. Now
I
film the festival.
And they're like that.
Oh my God, it's so clear.
When I bring the little light along and I go in the evening and I take a photograph of whoever, and they're like, oh my God, that light is literally the best thing I've ever seen, because it just makes the picture pop. And I'm
pops
like,
it.
Yeah. So there's tons of stuff that they can do that will make it. You don't have to be a content creator. I know I spent hours editing because I love it, but you don't have to go to that level. All you need to do is just know a few little things. Set your phone to higher res. Have a clean lens and keep it steady. Like, you don't need to be jumping up and down with it. Just, you know, literally pan stuff as you go through. But yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay, so another question. This is a quick memory for you. We've heard about all the highs, all the lovely stuff, all the great stuff. Tell me about one of the worst times in content creation. Do you have any memories where you're like,
Yeah.
oh God, that thing that happened back then, or that thing that happened then, Jesus, that I've learned from that won't be happening again? Is there anything that you've experienced along your journey that's given you that sort of thought?
Yeah, and I've talked about this with you before. There's a few. So when I was trying to figure out what my niche was, and I do love weddings, doing weddings too, because it's a special moment. But with weddings, there's always the photographer, potentially a videographer there. And for some weird reason, even though I'm just a girl with my phone, I'm literally no competition to you. You've got all the gear. You are incredible. And I always pick them up because they are incredible. I'm like,
Yeah,
what you
they're great at
do
what
is
they do.
amazing. Imagine me as just being the extra bridesmaid that's just here with the phone. But I've come across just a few that have not been as friendly, and we're good vibes. I will always start the conversation with, what can I do to help you? If you need me to round parents up and, you know, family up,
Yeah, I don't mind
happily
help. I'm
do
happy
that.
to help. Happy to help.
Exactly. I put one of our brides into her actual dress because her bridesmaids were all running late and they had it. So I'm always there to, like, 100% be your best friend on the day to do whatever I need to do. But yeah, I have found, like, certain people really don't make it nice for us, and then I really struggle with that because I'm like, it doesn't need to. We're all here for the bride and groom.
Yes, 100%.
We're not here. I'm not here for you, or
No.
we should be working as a team. And not every time, but I've come across it a few times. And like I said to you, and that's really made me rethink. And that's again why I went into the event space. I'm like, I haven't got anyone standing here telling me I can't stand here or don't do that, or. So I love the event space for that because it's everyone's a lot more chill. It's just, but I like, you know, you were at Holly's wedding, you DJ'd at Holly's wedding. Absolutely love that wedding. So if you've got the right team there, and, you know, I try and have conversations with both the photographer and videographer before I even go to that day to build up that rapport before. But yeah, sometimes you come across a bit of that. And events, you'll come across the people, like you just said, that are like, well, I can do that. It's just a phone. And you're like, oh, well, crack on then, please. I like I say, I love it when they do that because I'm like, honestly, if you want to do it, I'm absolutely
Go
off
for it,
you
love.
go.
Yeah,
Go and
go
do
for
it.
it.
And then when I look, and then they obviously post whatever they're posting, I'm like, yeah, great. Like, it's like you say, it's whatever you want. You can have, if you can't afford to get a certain amount of people there or whatever, absolutely, that might be the only thing you've got at that time. It's still content. It's still really good for you. But if you want something a bit more and you want to invest in it because you know you want your Instagram page to look a bit more, I don't know, professional, whatever you want, then you'll invest a bit more time into it. And when you get a content creator, like with me, you know how many times I've worked with you before, that you're not just getting the reel, you're getting all the raw footage. So you can post them, and you know what I'm like, I'm literally unlimited. You'll have like 400 photos for you to post or whatever you want to post.
When you first, I said, what? Hey, guys, Kelly sent me
you thought it went
wee
viral.
Yeah, Kelly sent me a wee transfer, and then I remember when I woke up, I had like 178 notifications. I said, "What? Instagram's been popping." It's just Kelly with like pictures. You sent me edited, unedited, like. The world was my oyster with how much content that I had, and that to the point now that's part of my with the few things that you've done, Kelly, for myself, that's part of my annual content. I'm going to say this again for people listening, annual. So there's things that you've taken from me in Botley from how many months ago, whenever he was there. I've got a post coming out in next month. I've got another post coming out in July. I've got another post coming out. 2 posts. Like I've scheduled them for August. Because it's summer, when it's that time, and there's a picture that you've got. I'm like, this will bang. Then there's no point me banging it now when the weather doesn't suit the image that I'm selling. But when it gets to that time and it looks more, I've got it all planned out. So lots and lots.
That's exactly it. And I don't know content creators enough because it's only really me that I know in this space. But I don't believe people take as much. As Luke's always like, you take way too much, and that's great for you guys, but because I'm editing it, I'm there for hours afterwards. Like, you've seen how much. You'll never see, like, when I do your stuff, you'll have pages of Instagram stories afterward. I don't know anyone else that does that. I think that's a bit of my brand as well. And no one edit photos either.
You're right.
I'm the
People
only
will
person
send you
that
the
does
raw
that.
stuff with
Yeah.
other.
Because it takes a lot of time to do that, but because I love it, and I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, right, here is the raw photo, and then here is it afterwards. You can see the difference, like especially when you look at the Botley stuff, you like, it literally pops the light. Oh my god, with that window, it's amazing. So I'm like, why would I not do that? Because that's what's differentiating me from everyone else again. Because you're not just getting this bog standard iPhone photo, you're getting a whole new level of like vibrant content that you can, like you say, use whenever you want to use it.
Yep.
So you're getting hundreds of photos, you're getting hundreds of mini clips that you will use, like you do. You'll get the highlight reel, and then you get kind of the whatever top tips you want to ask at the time too. So yeah, there's like tons of stuff that you can get from content creating, not just that one moment. So don't think you have to keep paying out and paying out and paying out. You only really need one session if you only, and it's tons of stuff ready for you to use. You can get a lot of stuff,
and if you've got a good creator like yourself, you're getting multiple angles, multiple shots.
Yeah,
it can look different from different angles.
Story each time.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So which will give you lots of ammunition. Which glides me swiftly into the next question, Kels, is when it comes to getting a content creator. So I'm going to have the people listening, there's going to be some people that might be local to you, some people might be far to you. What sort of things should they or could they be looking for when it comes to like payments and like, in terms of like fees and how much different content creators charge, like in your industry and in your market? What could be something or a figure or something that a DJ or someone new or seasoned who's thinking, you know what, I love what I'm hearing, it would be great if I could get someone to capture a few moments for me? Because one of the things I keep hearing from my community is that they don't have anyone, they don't have anybody that, I want content, because I bang on about content as important it is, but they have this ideal of, they can't do this and they can't do that. And sometimes you might have to sacrifice that whole gig's payment to get, whether it's content creator, whether it's a videographer or someone to then give you. But in terms of numbers, just to maybe a ballpark figure, starting in the from or whatever. What information could you give our DJs about, what they could be looking at when
Mine is super easy, because I was really conscious when I first started out. I don't know anyone else that does events content like I do. It's all wedding stuff. So I was trying to look at what I was doing in the wedding space, because I was a wedding content creator before I went into the events space of this. So I'm working with a content creator that, actually, she's one of the top 5 in the country. So that's kind of how I got into this too. She's amazing. Yeah. And then I decided to just it's really hard when you're running your own business to have someone else kind of tell you what to do when I know what I'm doing. So I was a bit like, this is going to have to naturally come to this point in the end where we just go our separate ways, which is exactly what we did. And she's doing amazing. I'm doing my events. It needed to happen for me to realise events.
You're a grower. You're a chaser creative. You're not a follower listener. Not like, no disrespect to follower listener people, but you're more of you can grow with someone, but then there'll come a point when this is naturally going to happen, because you're like more, and they won't be able to. They won't be able to feed you as much as you want to eat. Yeah, no, 100%. You're go getter.
Yeah, and and as you know, from 11, I've been doing this for many years in some sort of way and form. So I kind of just needed to do my own thing and spread my wings and find my own feet, which now I have done. What's the question?
So payment. So
payment. Yeah. Yes. So what I started doing was obviously learning from the wedding content creator industry, having a look around, and I thought, you know what, I want to make this really easy for people, like keep it a rounded figure. And it's weird because but I would charge £100 an hour, for example, right? Which people might go, oh, that sounds quite a lot. But my job doesn't start until the moment I leave, because I've got all that content that I've just created for you. So say it's an hour. Normally I do 2 hours for you. I'll leave, and then I will go through each one of them photos. I'll edit each one of them photos. I'll create the highlight reel, which that takes time. Yeah. It's not banging a load of little clips together. It's got to tell a story. It's got to be like, okay, here's the beginning of the night. here's Mandela warming up, here's the everyone's just starting to feel a bit of the vibe now. Oh, look at that one over there, they're starting to really, like, it needs to bring people
Take them on a journey. Yeah.
and
Okay.
I think that's where some content creators go a little bit wrong, because they call themselves a content creator because they're like, I just chuck a reel together. And reels are easy to make. CapCut is an incredible app, which you can do all this from your phone. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
But you need to be I call myself a bit of a storyteller. Exactly that. It needs to have like the right vibe. So yeah, with me, I will charge £100 an hour. You only ever really need normally 1 to 2 hours to get enough content to create the highlight reel. But I have done jobs where I literally just go in and do an hour and then come out. But it depends. If you're wanting stuff for like the year, like you're using, that's not going to give you enough.
Not going to do it. Yeah.
For a couple of months. If you're like really just want something to get started, then absolutely, then do that. And I do like bespoke like packages and stuff like that. I do wedding packages, which are a bit different because they're a lot more intense on the content, because you've got a lot of things going on in them days. So weddings will be more expensive than when I do events content. But yeah, for me, I just think, and even that, I obviously work with the events, Amber events and stuff, and they're like, you should charge more, but because I'm
Kelly, I was going to say the same thing. Sorry, I'm going to pause you there.
100%.
I'm going to pause you there because I'm inside me is going.
I know.
So I'm going to say to you guys, whenever you're listening to this, just know every single week I'm telling Kelly to up her prices. So if you're thinking that you want to jump on some of this now, you better get in contact ASAP, because I'm telling, not asking or suggesting, I'm telling Kelly every single week from this day forward, up your prices. Oh my days. Because similar to like what you're saying, I see it in value. So if I have you come and I'm thinking, okay, 2 hours, £200, which is a bargain. I think to myself, how much work can I get off these reels? And usually, well, I can't define it like specifically work, but it's going to add into what I'm already throwing out and whatnot. But it's definitely going to add to my presence online, which adds to my business. So I would rather spend money on content creation than marketing. So some people would put money into Instagram ads, and I would say keep that money or give it to a content creator and push out content. I would rather do that. If you can, do both, because then you get the content creator, put that content and promote that content to the wider masses. That's a great one. But I'm always mindful of the people that might not have, a frugal budget and stuff like that. And then I remember the people that are just starting. So, but I'm just letting people know, Kelly's not going to be that price forever, because I'm not having it, Kels.
I know you say it to me every time, but I'm. Do you know what? It's just, I'm finding my feet with it, and I'm just trying to. You've seen from my Instagram, I do everything from christenings to first birthday parties to.
I just haven't seen a funeral. That's the only thing I haven't seen.
Well, I got asked to do a bar mitzvah the other day, and I was like, I can't do that day. But yeah, like. And well, you know what? I did actually get asked. Jimmy asked me to do a wake for somebody, and it's like, I don't feel comfortable about doing that. He's like, it's a celebration of their life, and I was like, no, I don't think that's didn't want to go down that route for content, but I have a broad though. I literally do, broad. And I am very conscious. Someone's having the 18th, 21st, they're not going to have a lot of money, and I don't want to, like you say, you don't want to price them out, but I'm also very conscious that I need to be a bit more busy. This is where I come to you. I'm like, help me out, Mandela. What I'm like business head here.
The thing is, for you, Kelly, is like exactly what you said earlier when you said about, like just now actually, about the amount of time you put in it afterwards. That's what it for me. Yeah, it's your eye, your quality of eye, and that Botley picture. I would have paid you £100 for that video. Just Kelly, I'm not saying it to gas you. I would have paid you £100 just for that shot. It's what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds long.
That day, did you?
No, I didn't. I was like, ooh.
But I saw in your face. Like that. If he thinks this is good, and I know you know what good looks like too, so that's why. Because at the time I was like, do I even show this? Because I don't want to show my hand before your other little guys are taking videos. And I thought, but I don't know if he knows what sort of level that I'm taking this. So that's why I was like, I'm an hour, and I thought, no, I'm going to show him this. And then I saw your face. And
I was like, oh
yeah. And then did you notice your little man run out and took the same clip?
Yeah,
good.
But it didn't get it in the same. Like you've got an editing eye. This is another thing as well. So, like when you were saying about the content creators, they will come and film content. So this is a good question, guys, to ask when you're booking a content creator. Do you edit your stuff, and what are you going to do? Because like Kelly's just explained, you're going to have some content creators I'm not going to say they're taking the easy way out. It's just different. Like, you got different DJs. You guys know, you got some people that beat match, some people that don't, some people you sync band, all the different DJs. We've got different styles and ways, but it's a good thing to ask the content creator. If you are listening to this far and you've got someone who's local and you think, oh, let me hit them up, ask them, are they going to send you edited things? Because sometimes they're just going to capture it for you and then send you a file with all the captured.
That would be my number one question when I'm asking stuff.
Definitely.
Because I think people see the nice shiny stuff on Instagram or whatever, and they think, I'm going to get that.
I'm going to get that, and then they get it, and they're like, hold on, there's no reel. They're like, I've just sent you 25 30-second clips. You're like,
off we go.
Okay. So what I do, they're like, well, you can go into Instagram and you can do it together yourself. And you're like, are you not going to make me a reel? No. I'm going to make a reel for my Instagram, for yourself. Here's the content. I created some content for you. There you go. I'm a content creator. You've got content. I get like, on the podcast, they was talking about, and I'm like, this is Kelly Mac. This is a different content. So everyone's different, guys. So make sure you answer the question.
Yeah, I would definitely ask that question, because I don't think there's lots of us that would do that. But I, as you know, love it. I wait for the moment that that filter goes on or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at that photo. Yes, like when you drop a tune and everyone's like, yes, like that's how I get a little like buzz from each time. I'm like, that is and even with Luke, I'm like, look at this picture, and he's like, oh my god. I'm like, that is a good picture.
That's a good picture.
That
look
makes
at
me
that.
Happy.
Do you know when I like I said, for me, where I saw your value jump out massively is when you send me the raw and the editing,
see the difference.
Because there was a picture that you took, and there's a couple from the party have gone and sat down on the Botley chairs with the sunset. Oh my god, you sent one which was still great, like with it, but then you had another one where it's like the sky was pink and blue, and oh my days. And like even the video, there's some videos where there's a picture of me and Gian, Saxy, and then when you've taken a picture of us, there's a normal one, and I swapped, and I'm like, things are popping out, like I can see texture, even on the Botley, it's black, but then you edit it and you can see all the wood lines, and
I feel like I need to do more before and after shots, because
100%.
only the people that book me see that. They don't see the no one else sees the before and after, only you guys, because you've always got all the edits.
We see it. So I think on your Instagram you got to somehow get that out, just to differentiate you from
because I am the only person I know that actually does edit photos. Because for that reason, I know it looks really good once you put that edit on it, and I'm like, so I think I do need to spend a bit more time doing that, because it is like a little piece of magic that just happens, you know.
And some people
that makes your content stand out too, when you're putting it on your
different.
page.
And it's like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, okay, that sky looks a bit, and and then once again you're hooked, you're there. It's working. Amazing. All right, okay, we're going to come to our last question of this interview, and obviously one of the main things, we've got our DJs on here. We've spoken about how much it charges, the things that you look for, what separates you from other people, but obviously I'm mindful of someone who's in the position that I was a few years ago, and I've just started. I haven't got a big budget. I've just got my little car. I'm still trying to build my setup up. I haven't even got all my real paperwork and that, but I need to promote my business, and content is king. With someone that is solo, do you have any advice or tips on someone who's just solo, they just want to do it themselves, or just to get things going? Any ideas of what they can look for, what they could use, like what they should do? Should they, like, any ideas, any tips for someone who's new and they want to, grow their DJ business using content?
I was, Luke and me were them people too that were new, and like, where do we start with this stuff? So top tip number one, I'm gonna have a decent phone. Like, the phones are amazing nowadays. Even like iPhone 14 upwards, you're gonna get good pictures. You're gonna get good videos from it.
I'd even say iPhone 12. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think that has cinematic though, and I think cinematic changed the game. Once you've got cinematic on your phone, well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you want a next level content from your own phone,
go for the cinematic option.
Definitely, 100%. Like, that is a game changer for me, using cinematic. Like, it adds a bit more depth into everything.
100%.
That I do, makes you stand out, and then you've got that nice blur in the background. 100% get a tripod, like 10 quid off Amazon. That's literally, I know it feels a bit awkward at first, because you feel it's a bit weird filming yourself, but you're showing people you, and you're showing them what you do,
the service,
and no one else is going to capture that. So definitely get a tripod, or I've mentioned this to you before, is a really, like, cool little magnet. Again, you can buy on Amazon. It's literally like a round magnet. You stick it to your photo booth, put your phone on it. You can angle it down, and a lot of the videos you'll see when I'm doing stuff for DJs will be panning across the DJ deck, or like watching what they're doing with their hands, because that's what people are interested in. Like, how do they do that? Like, you're literally so you can literally just have that over your deck, not even looking at you, because people don't like themselves being on camera. That's fine. Show them what you're doing. Like, you'll look at a lot of reels or TikToks of DJs, you'll see just the decks a lot of the time. So that's an easy but effective but storytelling way of showing people how good you are when you're doing stuff. Like, when you're doing it, and this is why I love working with you, you're like dancing to every time you're moving, like you're flicking it up here, you're pushing it, like there's no just little, like,
Nah.
everything is a big
Performance.
move, like,
Yeah.
and that's why content works really well for you, because that is your natural way. Every time you're playing a song, the energy from you is so nice to capture on a phone, because people are looking at it from the other and go, and that's even that, they're like, oh my god, who's this? Amount of people that message me, who's this DJ? I'm like, yeah, I know, he's amazing. Like, I didn't even know who he was until about a year ago, but now I'm like he's the DJ I'd have for every party I'm ever having ever again. Like, and how many times have I been at events with you now, and I'm like, there's no one that touches anything that you do. You're so up here with your vibe, your bar, just here, and that is the perfect dream for me with being a content creator. So
Okay. That's
yeah,
nice.
you are like literally, like you said, we literally are match made in heaven in that respect, because you're doing what you love, I'm doing what I love, and when you bring that together and you see the reels, like, we're like, oh yes, look at this, it's so
100,
good.
100.
Yeah.
Even that from when we got from Holly's wedding, that clip that you did, the 247 one. I'm
and
like,
you remember, I always think you're always, you did ask me, of like, do I use a gimbal? Like, because a lot of people would say that now with content creators. Yes, so gimbals are good when you want that slow single shot, because you've got, it's really steady. It's a stabilizer, so it will stabilize what you're doing. But again, where I'm different to other people is I don't want the just slow, let's do a straight, like, but I'm like angling it in I'm like in, out, over it, up there, like, I'm panning it round in angles to try and get that different feels of it. And I can't do that as well using a gimbal. So I'm very free hand with it, which you've said to me before, like, why are you not using this? And I'm like, if you look at what I do, it's so different I'm moving about so much, it's hard to kind of use that. But if I'm doing, say when I'm doing weddings and you've got the ceremony, then I'm going to use the gimbal, because you want to stabilize. There's no way you can stand there for 30 minutes and your hand not be like shake. So that is when I'm going to be using it. When you're then there with your DJ stuff, then I'm like, right, I want to be twisting this. I want to be making sure. And it's weird. And again, I've learned that as I've gone along. So I'm just like, I've started doing all this stuff, and I'm like, that looks good, I'm going to keep doing that. And now every reel I do now, I have a bit of things I've learned throughout the last year, a bit of slow-mo, a bit of an angle, a bit of panning across the deck, or whatever it is that I'm doing. So but yeah, I would recommend, if you can, get a tripod, easy peasy. Or the metal, literally the metal magnet. It's really, really good. Clean your lens.
How could you do that? Clean your, because sometimes even like you said, you could use maybe an old phone, as long as you just get the best that you can from what that phone can do. And if you've got a dirty lens, you're.
And then, like with the editing stuff, because everyone will go to me, what do you use? What do you do? And I'm like, right, so Lightroom is the app I will use all the time. It's free to download. It's amazing.
Say that again.
Lightroom.
And that's like, is it like Final CapCut, or is it something different? Or
it's totally different to CapCut. It's literally editing app. So LR is like the app. You'll see the app when you press download. So it's Lightroom. Tons of features on there. Tons of filters. They call it presets rather than filters. So that's confused me when I first did it. Because I'm like, what the hell is what's a preset?
Yeah, because it's like it's been made, isn't it? That's what it's
exactly.
Basically and someone set all the little lines,
and you pay. So for me, I knew exactly what I wanted, and this all happened in lockdown because we had loads of time to figure out. And I was like, I know exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. I want it to be bright. I want it to be like fun. Pop. I want it to be, exactly pop. So I scoured literally loads of Etsy presets and whatever, and then I saw this one. Someone recommended it to me as well because I saw one of their photos. I was like, this looks good. I bought it for like £3. You upload it into Lightroom, boom, you're done. Now, every photo I take, I now will upload into that. Now, I take hundreds, so that's many hours. You can imagine how many photos I've got in my Lightroom. But you don't have to do that. You can do like 1, 2. I would also say play around with it. Find your vibe. Like, it might not be the vibrant vibe. It might be, you want a bit darker because I don't know. There's so
There's
many out there.
different
Find
ideas,
what you
and
like.
using that, you can
So
look at different ideas as well. Like you're saying, looking
yeah,
at the Lightroom, you might be like, oh, I like this is edgy. This might be
yeah.
my coloring, and then use that. You use that
Find
template
your
on every.
brand,
Yeah,
yeah, and so
yeah.
that people, like I said, people. I don't even have to say it's my photo now, and I know when people use my photos too, when they're putting it for their profile pictures, I put it. I'm just like, I know that's my photo.
That's my
Like
work.
whether
Yeah,
they
that's my
credit
work.
me or not, I know that that's my photo. So, and then CapCut, like CapCut is incredible. Really, you use it too. It's super easy to use. Sometimes has a little quirks in it where they try and catch you out, like when you were trying to get rid of like the watermark and stuff like that. It's easy. Once you know how to do it once, then you'll know how to, like, when I said to you, download it to TikTok and it will just take it off and
You'll
just
do
save
it
it
all.
from
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because ultimately they want you to use their obviously brand, so they know it's you created it using that, so they get more promotion. But you don't want that on your reels, and
Yeah,
I
but
don't want that on my reels.
what confused me is that I paid for it. Like I think
Yeah,
it's $10.99 a month or something like that. And I
yeah,
thought, do you know what? Like, once again, I'm a big content fan, and I thought I need something that can create better edits than because I do a lot of my reels made in Instagram. I do it in
yeah,
Instagram because Instagram's quite easy, and what I'm doing, I
yeah,
don't need it to be that. I'm not doing anything crazy. I put my hook, I put my text, and I put my
yeah,
video, and it's done.
yeah.
But then there's times when I want to make a bit more of an adverty type reel, and that's when I'll go into CapCut. And I'm still learning because there's a video that I'm working on next couple of weeks where it's going to be me talking about what I do. But as I'm talking about it, there's clips that show. So it's like an overlay. So I'll be saying, this is kind of what I do. And then they can see, like, I'm doing it here. I'm doing it at this event. So yeah, I started saying to myself, you know what? Especially this year as well, let's invest in just, paying for the CapCut, learn how to use it more. And just when I want to make things that are a bit more market friendly, because when I'm trying to do my relatable content, that's the easy stuff I put on. Don't worry about that, guys. We're not going to edit that out because this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to. We're not going to edit that out. People are going to see that. Yeah, sometimes I slap my mic. Shut up. Just shut your mouth. But yeah, so then but when I'm making easy my normal, day-to-day stuff that I chuck out, I make that in-house. But there's sometimes I want to make, like the video that me and you made together, I want to do that where it's like that one we made coming soon. I was like, oh my
Dramatic.
God. Yeah, I need sometimes I want something like that. I want it like that. Like if I've got a special offer or I'm doing a deal or something. And sometimes those things just go to my clients. They don't hit social media. They're things that I just DM to all my clients. And I want them to have something where it's like an advertisement video, which I could probably spend 20 minutes, 25 minutes on making, send it to 30, 40, 50 clients, and I can convert 10 or 15 of them, which is going to be way worth what I've done because now they've bought my whatever it may be. So yeah, content. CapCut is something that I'll be using much more this year. That's from your recommendation as well.
I love CapCut because, like, I know you do everything on Instagram, or a lot of your stuff on Instagram, but the social media platforms don't like you sharing. So if you try and share anything from Instagram onto TikTok or Facebook, you'll see the quality dramatically drop, and you'll be thinking, that's weird. Like, I'm around at people that go to me, oh, I've done it on Instagram. Why is it not letting me share to TikTok? Or why does it look like so? Because they don't want you sharing across platforms. They want you to only use their platform. So CapCut is obviously it's not part of any social media platform. It's just you just create reels.
I heard that
the quality
TikTok
will always be CapCut. I don't know if they do.
Yeah, I heard that TikTok bought it. TikTok
probably
that's
did,
why they work so well together when you link your thing. Anyway, I don't know, but apparently
they go straight into it, mate. That makes sense.
All the
but
green
at least
screen
when you
stuff
download stuff on that, you can put it, like, I will always do my reels on CapCut no matter what, and I'll put it then into my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, whatever it is. And I haven't, because back in the day when I first started doing this, I'd have to create all these different reels, one for Instagram. Oh God, now I've got to create the same thing. Like, I ain't got time for that. So I was like,
ain't nobody got time for that.
No. And one massive top tip too, which
go, let us know. Go.
Is CapCut has thousands of templates, and you can easily create. Someone already there's worked out that template for you. Nice swirly this, zooming into this, flicking this off here. Like, you literally, all you need to do is drop in the content that someone's taken.
And it will make it for you.
Boom, 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 and you're like, then you'll look at that and you'll be, oh my God, that's brilliant, and you literally didn't do anything other than drop it in. So I would definitely, if you're new to it and you're not comfortable or confident with it, definitely use the templates.
Another thing,
Play
another thing I
around.
want to mention as well, because like you said, you see when you said that about when you done your 25 recap, like I woke up while I was looking, and a recap of yours came up, and I was like, oh, this is sick, like the tune, buff, 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 and I said,
Template.
I want this, I want this. I said, I need to make a 2025 putting all my
I don't know,
things
you're
in.
making 2025. We ain't got
I
to
mean,
the end of
sorry,
2025.
2024
That's
wrap up.
impressive.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I've made my 2025 one already.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, the TikTok, sorry, the CapCut templates are gold mine, especially like you said, if
Yeah,
you're not big editor or you haven't got time, there's
yeah,
lots of things out there to quickly make you
absolutely.
content. So that's why with some of these tips and stuff that you share, Kelly, I kind of feel like there's not much of an excuse. Like, unless you don't want to, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
excuse. You can. Unless you don't want
Play
to,
around with it.
that's something
Play around
different.
with it. Yeah, and you'll be amazed by what you can create. And what I'd say too with the templates, like if I find ones that I really like, literally save them down. Just be like, save. It saves into your own little CapCut folder. Then you're not searching when you've got your ideas and you've got your content. You know, it's a bit like when you go through TikTok and you lose hours. Like you could lose hours trying to find the right template. Every now and again, I dip in and out of it. I look for the ones I really like. If it's wedding stuff, I'm looking for the slow, nice kind of. If it's stuff like end of year stuff, I want that to be interesting, quick, smart, flashing, lots of images because it's a
High
whole
engagement.
year.
Yeah. Get it in there quick.
Exactly.
Yeah, let
I
them
know
see
I
it.
was saving that template back in months before that because I'm like, I know I'm going to get round to having. I want to do that and I want a good one. So, boom. I would definitely spend a bit of time just saving the ones you like. And again, find what works for you. If you don't feel right, don't do it. Like my stuff is very bright, fun energy, lots of like boom, boom, boom. That's my vibe, but other people might be you'll be completely different. So play around with it and find what works for you, and don't be scared to change it if it doesn't. Because, like I say, my Instagram page, you can see how different things have moved since from the day I started it to where I am now. So, and I occasionally I'm like, oh, I've changed it. It don't look right. But then I thought, do you know what? I'm learning, I'm growing, and at the end of the day, I'm still getting people booking me, so they still know what they're expecting. The
Yeah,
other end of
still
it.
doing good
Just don't
stuff.
get caught up on if it's not perfect, I'm not going to do it. Which I think we've talked about this before. Lots of people hold
Loads.
themselves back because they're like, oh, that doesn't look good enough, or oh, that's a bit cringy, or oh no, and I'm like, no one cares.
No one
Like, just
Tell him again,
get it
Kelly.
out
Tell him
there.
again. No one
Get
gives
it
them.
out there.
Get it out. Get it out. I always say to
Yeah.
people, you don't decide what good content is.
Yeah.
The viewers do.
And
You
actually, the
don't.
worst content is normally the stuff that goes viral.
Yes,
So.
yes, that's the stuff that goes viral. So the stuff, there's probably things on people's phone. They're like, oh, that's cringe, that's cringy.
But it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, don't wait for the perfect content. That's not what people want to see.
That's not what people want to see.
This is another thing about content creation that is why it's evolved as quick and as fast as popular as it is, because you'll have the perfect advert. You'll go to, for example, say you'll go to a wedding venue and you'll see all that polished, lovely, perfect, and then your mate have a wedding there. They'll say, "Oh, it was really awful," blah blah blah, and you wouldn't seen any of that because you haven't seen the real, authentic stuff. So people go to TikTok more than Google now to figure out that's
To
I
find
want to go on
stuff, yeah.
holiday. All right, I'm going to go here. I do it too. I'm going to this hotel in Lanzarote. Right, I want to see what the real life looks like, and thousands of videos have come out where people have been there before. That's what I'm judging whether I'm going to do it or not the polished website part of it. I want to see the real people and what they're recommending, suggesting when they're there. So, and I think that's why content has gone, because it is real life stuff. Everyone's got a phone, everyone's capturing something, and it's exciting to see what, like, if if someone's at one of your events and you know you're going to get tons of people, because there's always people videoing you because you've got that vibe. How amazing that whenever you go online and there's tons of stuff out on you that people have just caught all this stuff on you.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
sick.
if I'd never met you before, I'd be like, oh my God, this is the guy, because I can just tell from the people's content that's come up. So, like, yeah, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So don't think it has to be. It really doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
Well, there you have it, guys, man. Kelly Mack herself giving you the spiel, giving you tips. If you not never had your notepad out on this one, I don't know what you're doing. You got to wheel it up and go back again, because you don't know I bang on about content All the time, all the time, all the time. And there's been some things out here that have been shared that can literally change the rest of your year, guys. If you take some of the things that we're talking about here, you can change the rest of your year in literally let's say 18 months from now. You could be doubling numbers. Your Instagram following could have quadrupled. These are all things that are possible as long as you put in the time, get that voice out of your head, and let the people decide what it is that they want to see from you. Push out your stuff, show your work, let people see where you are. Don't be scared. Post every day. Don't worry if you get 2 views, 10 likes. Don't worry about numbers. Worry about consistency. It's more important.
Absolutely.
When people can see that you're active, that someone is, I'd rather have someone who's got low views but they're active instead of someone who's got, you know, thousands of views and thousands of followers but they post once a month. No. I would trust the person more that has been out almost every week and or post 3 or 4 times a week, or even 2 or 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be high consistency.
No, it doesn't.
But we just need to see.
See when you post stuff about your dashboard's at what, millions now? It's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, that's because you're consistent. I know.
Consistency.
Exactly.
So my following doesn't echo that. So my following, I've got like, I don't know, 7,000 followers, and dashboard is saying, but you're getting 1.5 million people coming because they come a lot.
Seeing your stuff.
Seeing your stuff.
Know who you are, and that's valuable. So yeah, exactly that.
And like you said, and that's not numbers, because we could look at someone else who might have 110,000 followers and they'd be like, you know, he's got way less. But then if you look at, just because of my consistency, my reach is bigger than their reach. So I say, don't worry about the numbers. Worry more about getting your stuff out. And the more you get your stuff out, you start to find yourself. Like you were saying, Kelly, about finding your brand. Like you said, and as you showed when we started this interview, if you go to Kelly's post back to the 11th of October 2023, you can fly through and watch her story. And then if you watch some of her stuff that she was posting in December 2023 to what she's posting now, there's different levels. And it's the same for you guys. That's the reason I tell you guys to push, because you got to start before you know. Because every time you look back at the start of a journey, you're like, look how far I've come. But you can only take that journey if you're making the steps. If you start but don't do anything, the journey doesn't start. But if you start and you keep going, a year from now you'll be saying, my first reel, which excited you, like, I've posted a reel, I can't believe it. And then, you know, 50 reels from there, you'll be like, that reel was pants. But if you didn't if you didn't post it, your reels now would be nothing would have happened. You wouldn't have known that, you know, cleaning the lens and and you wouldn't know these things. Getting the tripod, you'll start to find out where's the best angle. I did that last time. Maybe get it over and tilt. Maybe have it straight on. Maybe get it in the back. Like, you'll start to find where is your best. And you might start having a shot which is your brand. That every venue you go, I get this shot and it works for me every time. Views, comments, engagement. There you go. You have your shot. You can use that every time. People book you. Work is working. Everybody's happy. So there you go.
I was going to say, and even if you post stuff that say, like, I've done this with mine, and 3 months later I'm like, oh no, that doesn't really fit with, like, a completely different vibe now. You literally just got to click archive, it's gone. But at least it was out there at some point. People did see it, and like every now and again I'll have a tidy up of my Instagram page because there is a lot on there. And just like, don't feel like just because you posted it, that's the, like, literally get it out there. Just get it out there and just keep practice and getting people to know who you are, because ultimately that's what they want from DJs. Especially, they want to know you. Who are you? Yeah, exactly. They don't care what decks you got, or, you know, what lights or what speakers. They're like, how are you going to bring the vibe to my party? Because everyone wants the best party. Everyone wants the best wedding. That competition, as you know, when you do your interviews with them all, everyone will say, I want mine to be the best. Like, so they want to know you, and they can know that by obviously creating, you know, whether you create your own content or you have someone there to do it. That's what we're there to capture: your personality, your vibe. You just got to be really natural. We talked about this as well. Like, when you've got a content creator there, you have to behave like they're not there. They're not there. Just do you. Exactly that. You just got to be in your zone, doing your thing, and then we can capture the moments that are the genuine, real moments, rather than feeling awkward because there's a camera like near you. Because like, that's when you probably will stop filming it. You'll be like, oh, you're being awkward. Let me stop. Do you know what I mean? Come back again afterwards. All right. Well, that is a perfect time, Kels, for us to wrap up this pod. Kelly, thank you so much for spending the time and sharing your knowledge and all the different things that you shared today. Because like I said, one of the biggest things for me is 100% content all the way. And you've come and you shared some amazing tips today. So thank you so much for your time. I'm definitely going to get you back on again for another one, because there's some other, when I was doing your questions for today's interview, I had way more. Like, I've got another sheet and a half of stuff that we didn't. So there's other stuff, but I thought to myself, let's not
overload them with so much
Yeah.
stuff. Let's
Start
do
with the
this one.
basics,
Start with the
exactly.
basics next, and then we're going to go into more intermediate stuff on the next one, and that's when we can sort of take it to a new level. So thank you so much for joining us this week,
No,
man.
thank you for having me, and hopefully you found that helpful. And I look forward to the next time that we work together because I love it. So
It's
but
happening.
yeah.
We got our little contribution deal going on. You know what I mean? We're
Yes,
both resident.
collab.
Co-living. We got
Yeah.
our residencies over at our, you
Botley.
know, our preferred
Yeah.
suppliers over at Botley. So yeah, there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot happening. Watch summertime because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
It's
I
going to
can't
be
wait.
crazy.
I can't wait.
It's going to
Exactly.
be crazy. Anyway,
Good
guys,
vibes, good vibes.
good vibes all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we are going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining. Head into the description and make sure you give Kelly a follow. If you want to get onto her packages, get in there early, guys, because I keep telling Kelly to up her prices. So we haven't got long left for you to scoop up some of those deals. Get that content, push your brand, grow your business. And other than that, I'll see you same time, same place next week on the Mobile DJ Marshy Show. Kelly,
Thank
take
you.
care and
Right, thank you, guys.
thank you for listening, guys.
Bye.
Take care. See you next week.